Chapter 313. This was the fourth city of the former Dom territory, also known as the Slave City, but now, it had been renamed Crocodile City. A particle accelerator research center was located inside, where researchers were working diligently. The large feet of the Crocodile King slammed against the ground, but the specialists were used to it. The Crocodile King came to inquire about the progress of their spatial teleportation black hole development. Below, many energy carriers shaped like large batteries were stacked high. A specialist stepped forward and replied that they had successfully created a black hole large enough for mid-level creatures to pass through. However, for a size suitable for the Crocodile Emperor, they still needed more time. Optimistically, his team would need around 4 months to complete it. The crocodile's eyes drooped slightly, but it still thanked the team of specialists for their efforts, and hoped they would pay attention to it. Of course, none of these people dared to be lazy. It was just that 4 months was a time that wasn't too long, but also not short. The young specialist was stunned, never expecting to receive such a kind thank you from a catastrophe-level creature. He even felt as though he had spoken to a human rather than a mutated beast, and wondered if there was a human behind the monster. He didn't know. The mutated beasts of Misty Mountain had all been affected by the spirit waves of their master. After a long time, a process of shared resonance vibration would occur. The drill spun and bored powerfully into the large stone. The human construction team was trying to deal with this huge boulder, but it seemed to be metal, wasn't it? It was fortunate that they had brought large-sized drills, along with many other advanced equipment. But ultimately, this huge metal boulder was too hard. After a while, the construction team still couldn't break it. The team leader would probably consider proposing to change the route to go around it. Suddenly, a high-ranking commander arrived, with non-human feet. As soon as he arrived, he asked them to leave it to him to handle. It was the Golden Ant. He slowly stepped forward, activated his X5 strength buff, and shot toward the large metal boulder blocking the path. Then, he executed a thrust with his pincer, and immediately, a long crack appeared on the boulder, emitting a deafening sound. The large metal boulder was immediately broken down into many small pieces, which fell to the ground, shocking the workers. The excavator nearby was directly destroyed. The area under the boulder was crushed, leaving almost no gap. That was why slowpokes like these would have to die. Suddenly, gravity was reversed by the power of the bull demon. The guy gritted his teeth and covered his head, accepting a painful death. But if the bull demon was here, it wouldn't happen. He lifted all the objects in front of him, while the workers kept marveling at how lucky they had been. The bull demon didn't forget to curse the Golden Ant for being an idiot, about to kill his own people. Just as well the Golden Ant had just returned. Actually, it wasn't that he wanted to kill them, but more that he didn't really care about them. In the sixth city, the workers in the construction crew could only widen their eyes and gulp, watching the city manager perform a magic trick with earth and sand. Ching Chong's statue, which he had created himself, stood at the highest point of the city. He didn't know how to describe the handsome statue, so Ching Chong could only look at it for a long time. Then finally he thought of a word: perfect. The two guys immediately took out their business cards, then approached Ching Chong, inviting him to work for their company, promising presidential treatment with a super high salary and full benefits. Lan Feng's younger sister, from afar, looked at Ching Chong for a while, and marveled at how talented he was. He was also honest and good at cooking. He would be a great marriage partner. Damn it! How could Lan Feng give his sister to that rotten friend? Aki's group still had to work hard these days, never daring to let their guard down, as every target would be discovered early from the sky. And below, the last surviving individuals of the Wind Wolf pack were also patrolling. They controlled the scents in the wind. Then suddenly, they discovered something. The Wind Wolf's eyes contracted. 2 purple streaks of light moved very fast in the sky, bringing a powerful and unfamiliar aura. Then they landed noisily on the ground, next to the large rock outcroppings. And in the dust, 2 figures, one large and one small, appeared. That's right. It was the 2 figures who were targeting the Crocodile Emperor in the previous chapter. They had decided to act immediately without hesitation. As soon as he arrived, the larger one complained that their spatial teleportation area was too small, but the other one knew his friend was just too big. He wondered if the teleportation information was wrong, because apart from a gloomy sky and a silent forest, he couldn't see anything. Of course, the overall position wasn't wrong, but there was a slight discrepancy. Because in front of them was the slave city, where their target was. Now they would slowly make their way to that city. There was no need to rush, there was plenty of time. These two didn't realize that their aura was too strong. All the creatures around them could sense it, including this golden monkey. The monkey immediately stood up, gripping his long staff tightly. Clearly, this aura didn't belong to Earth's creatures. Thus, he guessed that they were the enemy, then tightened his grip on the staff in his hand. This creature, within the protected area of Misty Mountain, didn't hesitate and shot off. The divine tree was very far from the mainland. His position was still on Dragon Island. Over here, the elephant's legs had collapsed. The mutated mammoth had failed. His entire body was bruised. Clearly, this was a serious practice match. In front of thousands of mutated beasts, the victor was the Golden Dragon of Dragon Island. The Golden Dragon roared loudly, angrily scolding that the elephant was too weak. Was it really one of the 10 fierce beasts? As soon as the arrogant words were spoken, the mutated wolf rushed in for a duel, with an imposing aura. As soon as it arrived, it slapped the Golden Dragon in the face. The blow was quite powerful. The Golden Dragon realized that this guy wasn't as good as him, but also not much worse. Of course, the wolf had to correct him that he was the king of combat on land. And so, close combat between them began. It had to be said that close combat wasn't the Golden Dragon's full strength. In this match, he had truly restrained his power. It was just that the mammoth, after his defeat, quietly left in silence. He was one of the 10 famous fierce beasts under the divine tree's command. Above, the 9-tailed fox was still observing everything. At this moment, she realized something, and a flash of murderous intent appeared in her eyes. Want to defeat the Golden Dragon? End of chapter 313.